Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Caffeinated Dino and today we're continuing Coffee Talk, episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. We are on day 9, I believe? Yes. Wednesday, September 27th. And I like starting it this way, going into the menu and picking the days that you're going to continue, because it lets us see the newspaper on the correct day. Little things bring joy. Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. World Golem Culture Center grand opening to be held in Bhutan. Lunar cell panel prototype ready for first test. Newcomer progressive album metal band Avathor tops US music charts. Alright, looks like some good news. Nothing terrible happening yet. Let's see what's in our, oh, we have no items. Do we have anything on the Tomodachi? Nothing so far. Let's check out our stories. Dinner with my team. Oh, that's good. Riona has a normal schedule. I'm taking an easy day because self-care is important. Don't forget to take a good rest once in a while too, everyone. Very true. Have you ever heard a story that, wow, so you try to go for your dreams because you're so inspired to do something or anything? Share your story. What? Interesting. Okay. Let's dive in. Let's see. All the ingredients are stocked up. And the weather's keeping quiet. Looks like a good night to listen to some stories. Two? Ah! Good evening, Mr. Hyde, Mr. Gala. Nice to see you two. How did it go at the hospital today? Well, it was fine, except I was a little exhausted. Goodness, are you having issues with the children again? No, that's not it. It's just... Well, for starters, my Fury's giving me a hard time. Your Fury? Is it the full moon already? Nope, but sometimes I get pre-Fury symptoms. Pre-Fury symptoms? Yeah, it's a common thing for werewolves. A few days before the full moon, our bodies start to prepare for the Fury. And that changes the way they react to pretty much everything. Symptoms vary depending on who you ask. But it can affect our muscles, our appetite, our energy levels. It can give us headaches and lots of other stuff. It's small, but annoying. That doesn't sound pleasant. No, to be honest, it's not great. For me, I've been feeling pretty sore and more tired than usual. A bit crankier as well. Is there a drink that could help you with that? I never found one, but if anyone can come up with it, it's you, Rex. Since Galahad had soothed your Fury, maybe it would work pre-Fury as well? Maybe, but I think it needs to be more relaxing. Like a Galahad, but with no caffeine, and maybe blue? Alright, well blue is gonna be this. Was it... What's in the Galahad? Milk and ginger? I don't remember. Well, I could have sworn it was gonna be here. Here it is, tea, milk, ginger. Alright, so blue pea, milk, ginger. Gala tea. Here you go, a gala tea for you. Do you come up with these names on the spot, Rex? No, it takes a bit of soul searching. To tailor it to the situation and so on. That almost makes it sound like you know in advance what we're going to order. Call it a sixth sense. Right, let's see how your sixth sense tastes. Wow, this is excellent. Exactly what I needed. Very happy to hear that. What's with the long looks, you two? Did something happen? Actually, Rex? Guess I'll just come out with it. I need your help. My help? Come on, I wasn't that bad. No, I was so tired today I nearly fell asleep on the job. Ugh. Most importantly, it's not good for you. Moping around, soaking, refusing to look at solutions. I've never seen you like this, and I'm getting worried. There's nothing to worry about. You say that, then you spend an entire night looking miserable. No advice I come up with is good enough. And Hyde, I'm barely keeping it together as it is. You should know by now how I feel when Fury's about to hit. I take it you two ended up chatting yesterday after all? You bet we did. After I walked out of here, I headed home and found this one, lying on the sofa, staring at the ceiling. Looking so gloomy, it sucked the color out of the room. And it's not the first time either. It's a constant these days. Please help me help him, Rex. I'm at my wit's end. Mr. Hyde? Ugh, fine. The truth is, I'm bored to death. Or would be, if it wasn't for the whole immortality thing. I'm nearing 40 years old. I've never been this bored in my entire life. Interesting, you usually make it sound like you're much older. 40 years old in vampire years. I'm not saying how old that is in other species' years. Eyes on the prize, Rex. Intervention first, gossip later. My apologies. Why are you so bored, Mr. Hyde? My job. What was that? My job. Hey, no need to shout. Well, I'm also irritated about it, okay? I'm not exactly used to sitting around twiddling my thumbs. The modeling stopped being fun ages ago. You didn't mention something like that last time. You are trying to leave modeling behind then? Yeah. Is there a specific reason for that? It's all just so brief. Back when I started modeling, people thought of fashion in a different way. They wanted to keep their outfits for a while, so they had to be elegant, well-made, and versatile. Some campaigns that I featured in stayed on billboards for months, and I knew the clothes would last decades. And in a way, it felt like I was building a bond with their wearers. I endorsed something that would feature in their cherished memories. But then social media came, and it all became disposable. The clothes themselves, of course, but the models even more. I shoot a campaign, the brand posts it online, and it gets attention for what, 10 minutes? But another campaign comes in, and everything's forgotten. Blink, and it's gone. There's no bond to be built there. Isn't that changing these days, though, with slow fashion and the like? That's true, and people are getting into vintage clothes, too. I salute that. But the reality of my job remains the same. What about your fans? You have so many people following you. You mentioned that last night, and my answer hasn't changed. They follow me because they think I'm pretty. Being admired is nice, but it doesn't constitute a bond. So are you saying you'd like to leave more of a mark? Maybe so. It would be nice if I did something that people remembered. That became a part of their lives in a real way. You do know you have people in your life in a real way, right? People who always remember you. That's not the same thing. Maybe you should study to become a doctor or something. That would make a real difference. No, thank you. The job still needs to be fun. Studying for 10 years just to exhaust myself in 14-hour shifts. Do you mistake me for a hard-working vampire? Do you see what I'm dealing with, Rex? It does seem to be a thorny issue. Perhaps you'd like to mull it over with a drink in hand, Mr. Hyde. Yeah, that sounds good. Just make me something I like. Anything you've seen me enjoy recently or when we first met? Well, he liked the Zobo, right? And that was Hibiscus... Ginger? Right? Excellent. Here you go, Mr. Hyde. You seem to like this well enough. Heh. Nice, Rex. And you lost your bet, Hyde. A bet? When Hyde was wallowing in self-pity yesterday, I told him many people cared about him. And I bet you could remember what he liked even if he gave you no instructions. So now I get to say that I was right. And Hyde gets to buy me dinner. At a place of my choosing. Ooh, Jesus. Ugh. You're going to pick that horrible steakhouse again, aren't you? You know it. Have you won other bets in the past, Mr. Gala? Let's see. You say it, Hyde. He's won every single one of the bets we've ever made. Wow. Yeah, I'm this close to being able to buy a new TV with the money I'm saving on food. Just rub it in my face, why don't you? Oh, hi everyone. Hey, Lua. Hi, Lua. Busy night, I see. Hi, Miss Lua. Busy and lively, just the way we like it. That's good. I'm really glad you're here, Hyde. I wanted to apologize for the other night. I was so excited to see you, especially since it had been a while. But we ended up fighting with Bailey's instead. Must be getting bored of our arguments. It's alright, they're kind of fun to watch. How are things with you two, by the way? Just let me order before I answer. If that's alright, Rex? Of course, what would you like? I spent the whole day talking in meetings and presentations, so I have a bit of a sore throat. And if anything you'd recommend for that? Definitely something with lemon and honey. That sounds great. I love a lemon and honey drink, Fen, please. But what kind of tea do you want? Green tea? Right? That makes the most sense. Lemon and honey. It's called cough syrup. Here you go, some honey to soothe and some lemon to boost recovery. Thanks, Dr. Rex. This is truly lovely, just what I needed. That's great to hear. My company's trying to get a big contract, so I've been organizing meetings with everyone, making sure it's all going according to plan. This sounds pretty tough. Yeah, it's a lot of responsibilities and decision making. And part of me likes that, but part of me feels the pressure of it. So it's nice to be able to unwind with a warm cup. Anyhow, to answer your question earlier, Gala, you've probably gathered that Bai and I have been fighting. Yeah, and Hai told me a little bit about it, too. Right, well, we haven't discussed the wedding for the past couple of days. And honestly, it's done me a lot of good. The thing is, I know Bai means well. He suggests all these things that he thinks I'd like, and I should like them. He's paying attention, not just sending random ideas. I should be grateful that he's trying to please me. But I get annoyed instead. And then I start feeling guilty that I'm annoyed, which makes me even more annoyed. It's not great, I know. Well, it'd be easier if we always acted rationally. If we only got annoyed at the right people for the right reasons. But things aren't that simple, are they? That's true. Although I guess if you figured out what actually annoys you, it would help. That's the problem. I'm not sure. At first I thought I was tired or worried. The decision making at my job is taking a toll for sure. It's a bit hard for me to also deal with organizing things in my personal life. Also, the financial side of it is hard to navigate. I don't want Vi to spend too much money, but he's right that involving my family comes with strings attached. I'm not sure how to avoid that though, but I'm realizing that might not even be the main issue. The more he sends me links to venues and caterers, the more it all feels wrong to me. I don't mean the wedding itself. I want to get married to Vi. But the way we're planning it, I don't know. I've been to my friends' weddings before. I've also been browsing the most popular wedding pictures online. They're always these big parties, very put together and very classy. They have their whole families over, their friends and colleagues. They rent these beautiful barns and they hire live bands. They wear designer dresses and bespoke suits. I used to look at that and think, this is great, this is what I want. But now it all feels more and more off to me. Why don't you tell your fiancé that? What if he thinks I'm getting cold feet? Or that I'm questioning his ability to help with the budget? That's up to how you communicate it, isn't it? Right, but it's still a difficult topic. We've been through so much, you all know that. This is supposed to be our special day, a way to celebrate our partnership. Vi wants to honor that. He'll feel awful if he thinks I don't. Or if he thinks I don't trust him. I swear, you and your elf are well matched. You always worry too much about what the other thinks, instead of working out your own wants and needs. You do realize that's the important bit, right? I mean, generally yes, I get that, but how does that apply here? What do you think it means to honor your partnership? Celebrate it properly, for starters? Right. And who are you in that partnership with? I believe you've met him, the blonde guy with the puppy eyes. Right, I'm glad you remember that because you're making it sound like you were in a relationship with your friends who got married, and the strangers who put wedding pictures online. This is your relationship you're celebrating. Why are you so concerned with other people's weddings? Your special days need to make sense to the two of you. Have it at the trainers at a fast food joint if that's what you like. The way you can also take the budget out of the equation. A simpler wedding won't feel shabby if you make it properly yours. I still want a pretty outfit and decent food. Thank goodness. But point well taken. It's just, my family might have certain expectations. Did they openly say that? No. Then maybe they do, or maybe you just think they do. The only way to find out is to talk to them. Besides, isn't Bailey also about to become your family? You sure are the only family he's got. I'm not saying to disinvite everyone or to fight with him or anything, but you shouldn't put their needs above your own. I really shouldn't, should I? You gave me food for thought. Thanks, Hyde. My pleasure. Amazing how you perk up when you give people advice, Hyde. Maybe you should become a therapist. Gee, thanks for the vote of confidence. I did say I might become a couples counselor, but I agree with what you all implied. I don't think I'm quite tactful enough for that. Are you looking to change careers, Hyde? He's bored of modeling. Finds it too impermanent, wants to leave a mark, wants to have fun. Just a very quick summary. Oh, I see. Well, is there any way you can make modeling fun again? I don't think so. Last time I had proper fun was maybe 20 years ago. What happened then? I was modeling a capsule collection for a young designer, and she wanted to take her own pictures. She got a studio, lugged the outfits there, found someone to do the makeup. Then she whipped out an old film camera, a proper relic. I hadn't seen one like it since the 60s. My granddad has an old black and silver camera with 2 lenses. Was it something like that? Yep, exactly like that. She said she preferred it because of the way it captured the light, and also because it was a slower experience. something that would allow us to connect more. At first, I didn't think much of it. I started doing the usual, posing, switching, posing some more. But something felt different. Then I realized what it was. Most of the time, we were just talking. She only took a picture once in a few minutes, if that. Is that unusual? Yep, most fashion photographers take dozens of pictures in a row. I felt a bit sorry for her, to be honest. I thought she didn't know what she was doing, and that she was wasting her money. But we had a great time, and we got kind of friendly, I guess. Because at the end of it, she let me use up the remaining exposures. I fooled around, shot some random stuff, and one portrait of her. Then she suggested I come with her to the dark room. Watch how she developed the pictures and how they came out. You did always have a fondness for dark places. Comes with the territory. But as for the pictures, well, they were gorgeous. First of all, I looked really like me, you know, and me I could recognize. But that's not even what stuck with me the most. It's the care she put into processing each frame, working each picture through the chemical baths, hanging them, drying them. It was like watching a magical ritual. And her portrait. When she saw it, she got a bit emotional. She said she was used to being on the other side of the camera. It was the first time she really liked the portrait someone took of her. I'm in a weird place these days. It's not like me to tell these kinds of tales. Or to launch into sappy monologues, really. Just forget it. No, I think it's a beautiful story. And it gives me an idea, I think, of another career for you. Please share, Loa. You'd be doing both of us a solid. Go on, then. Well, maybe it's because I've looked at so many of them recently. But apparently, film is making a big comeback for wedding pictures. It's what you said, it captures the light beautifully. And it's a more personal, slower approach. Maybe you could try that. Who, me? No, the other vampire who's looking for a new line of work. I think you've got the wrong guy here, Lua. I know I'm disgustingly sentimental these days, but I'm not that far gone. Attending one wedding gives me cavities, let alone several per month. Well, forget about it then. No, don't forget about it at all. It would be perfect for you. Come on, Hyde. I know you like to play strong and sarcastic, but you are sentimental. And you love to chat people up. You solve all the bridesmaids' drama and offend their parents. But most importantly, you do something for these people that they'll never forget. They'll look at your pics their whole lives. If that's not leaving a mark, I don't know what is. You're assuming they won't get divorced. I don't know if this is the right topic for Miss Lua. It's alright, I know some marriages end in divorce, but it doesn't change anything, does it? Whether marriage lasts for a few months or several decades, the wedding is still an unforgettable moment in someone's life. The career in the mafia is really looking up. You're hopeless. I'm falling asleep on my chair now, so I'm gonna head back. Do whatever you want, you thick-skulled vampire. Just don't stay out too late, okay? Yeah, alright. That's my cue as well. I have some thinking to do. And maybe some talking. Thanks again, Hyde. And good luck. I hope your next adventure is a good one. It will be. Good night, Lua. Good night, Rex. See you later. Good night, you two. Here we go again. Last one sitting. Indeed, proper night owls. You didn't say anything about that wedding photographer idea. It's ridiculous, right? It's not for me to say, but I wouldn't call it ridiculous. It sounds like you enjoyed the whole film photography experience. And you do like being around people, don't you? I do, sometimes, but I'm not a romantic. People get married, they think they're taking a first step into forever. Well, there's no such thing as forever. Everyone ends up disappointed in some way, and then, next thing you know, I don't want to sound too depressing. So, you don't believe in love? Of course I do, but only in a certain kind. You can choose to keep supporting someone, to enjoy their company. You can do that for years with friends, family, lovers. But at the end of the day, you're still you, a separate person. And there's still them. There's no two souls becoming one. Not really. I know, last time I tried, it didn't really work out. But do you regret trying? No, I guess I don't. It confirmed for me that marriage and the like is never going to be my thing. And there's freedom in knowing that about myself. It's given me space to build other relationships that work much better. But at the same time, when I see people who truly believe it, people who walk into it willing to share their lives so closely, even for most of them, it won't pan out. There's something beautiful there. Like watching a butterfly fly too close to a flame, or a flower bloom like it will never will. Well, in my case, I singed off my wings, but I'm still here. And on that day, for the minute when I said we'd be together forever and meant it, I sure felt alive. If you know all that, then you must also know that it's something worth celebrating, and something worth helping other people celebrate. You're a tricksy one, Rex. And I'm too tired to fight your logic. Which means it's time for me to head back. Of course, Mr. Hyde. And I meant to say, I appreciate our one-to-one chats. I hope we can keep providing you with a comfortable space here. Oh, it's plenty comfortable for sure. Besides, well, it all boils down to this, doesn't it? The way time passes for me is very different from anyone else I know. Thank goodness Gala is from a long-living species. But even then, he'll grow old before I do, eventually. The world will change 100 times, technologies will die out, new technologies will come. I will feel again the way I feel now in a century, maybe two. And Lua and Gala won't be around to give me advice. The world won't wait for me. But you will, am I right, Rex? That is very perceptive of you, Mr. Hyde. Hey, you've grown to know me quite well. It's only fair that I know you a little in return. I suppose that's true. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. To continuing our story. It's nice to know that no matter how much time passes, there's always going to be somewhere here rooting for me. Thank you for your trust, Mr. Hyde. We will make sure it's not misplaced. I know you will. And on that note, I guess I'm going to browse for some film cameras. What's the worst that can happen? Indeed. Take care of yourself, friend. And you as well. The world won't wait for you, Mr. Hyde. But some of us will. What a curious thing to say. So are we unaging and an alien? Question mark? Spanish Sahara. Warm and cozy, just like a day in Barcelona. Now there's our not quite full moon. Thursday, September 28th, 2023. New image recognition tech confuses gnomes of dwarves. A review. Yikes. Robots asked to give ultimate advice. Elven burnout is real. Here's how to avoid it. Oh no, poor Baileys. Oh, wait, check items. No items still. And check our brew pad and Tomodachi. This blue pea is getting a lot of work. We've got almost all of them. Oh, we have all three for Hyde. Let's see, favorite things. The fact that I've been blood sober for 10 years now. That's exciting. Currently, a model. Past stock trader, entrepreneur, venture capitalist. Oh, for Lua, we've got all four. All three, I mean. Favorite things, lover of the bright moonlight, believer in a life without a fight. I'm a big fan of art and poetry. What I'm doing with my life. Working 9 to 5 at a trading company by day, going to poetry readings and museums on the weekends, enraptured by the forbidden fruit. Anything else here? Gala. Self-summary, veterinarian, now working in a hospital. Are you a vet? A veterinarian? Oh, veteran, not veterinarian. A veteran. Right, we knew that. I read that wrong. I saw a cat and my brain went straight to animals. Alright, let's see their stories. No delivery today. We'll resume tomorrow. Just spent almost 2 hours checking on the mobile games in the App Store. The amount of copycat games is just staggering. Oh god, it really is. Top of the morning to y'all. Hungover but feeling awesome. A girl always has her secrets. Alright. Let's jump in. Good evening. Georgie! Officer, welcome. Hey Rex. How are you doing? Uh-oh. Officer? Oh. Heh, sorry. My mind is kind of elsewhere right now. No worries. Work issues? What else? I'm all ears if you want to chat. Heh, you're a pal. I'm in a real bind, Rex. What happened? Well, never-ending workplace issues aside, things are getting weirder by the minute, and I'm feeling out of my depth. Are you talking about your recent patrols? Yeah. I've been analyzing the CCTV footage the last couple of days. Oh, I see. How did that go? Did the cameras manage to capture anything? Yes and no. The infrared's caught a couple of blurry things. They ran off, turned a corner, and disappeared. Could have been anything, like rats or cats. Neither fits with what I heard on the scene. The footsteps, you know, the laughter. Heh. Come to think of it, it sounded more like giggles. Giggles? Can werbeasts giggle? Not at that size, no. Heh. Even if they could, it doesn't explain the footsteps, really. I see. So what's next? I have some ideas, but they're just wild theories at this point. In short, I'm stumped. You know, Rex, I've been racking my brain ever since Miss Riona dropped that bomb about the fairies, you see. Oh, what about them? As it turns out, fairies was an umbrella term for many types of beings. Anything that didn't fit the known physical rules at the time was to be referred to as such. Oh, Does that mean banshees were part of the fairy folk? Heh, probably. Not anymore, though. It's an ongoing process, but the list is getting shorter. But back then, any sentient being that was remotely incomprehensible was considered that. And that includes apparitions. Apparitions? Yes. Apparitions like ghosts. 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 I see. What do you mean, I see? Eh? Doesn't it sound like a bad joke to you? I'm not sure I follow. Bud, come on. Ghosts don't exist. Do they? 'Cause if they do, all I can think about is that damn tree now. Ah, right, the tree. Does that mean it's haunted? It could be. Don't get how you can be so calm about this. Huh? Well, why wouldn't I be? I mean, there have been all sorts of customers here. Some of them are so out of this world even. Sometimes literally. You're right. I guess you're not the one who's being weird here. Don't say that. Everyone has their own peccadillos. True that. If you don't mind telling me, though, may I ask the reason you're so afraid of ghosts? Gosh, no. That's a long story. Not something I'm ready to talk about anyway. That's understandable. All you need to know is my fear was never caused by actual ghosts. Oh? Suggestion is a very powerful thing, Rex. But that's all I'm willing to share. For now. Okay, thanks for sharing. You know, it's funny. My grandpa was very into this stuff. So was my daughter. They're like my opposites, very curious and fascinated by the unknown. Not that I'm not, mind you. It's just with my time as a cop and all, unknown variables usually mean trouble. I see, that makes sense. They're the kind of people who can see things from nothing. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like, you know, the Zen rock garden thing from Japan? They understand the zen-ness of it. I don't, but it doesn't stop me from thinking it's chill, you know? I think you almost got it. Yeah? But I'm sure he and my daughter could talk about it for hours. Too bad he passed away before she was born. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't be. On that note, Rex, you've seen my lighter, right? I'd say I'm pretty well acquainted with it now, yes. My bad. The thing was originally my grandpa's. He bought it sometime after the war ended. It was to commemorate the upcoming new era, he said. In more ways than one. He had honorably discharged due to a severe leg injury he'd never been able to recover from. Ah. At the time, he was living right across the street from the former town hall. For obvious reasons, he couldn't walk far. So it was a good location for him with all the veteran support nearby and all. Right. Now, about that street. You see, my grandpa liked to chat. Never liked being alone, that guy. Plus, he pretty much hated his bleak room. Sometimes he'd go and hang out with the street vendors in front of his place. There were all kinds of beings there, along with their pets, from all walks of life. That's why he had a lot of stories about the craziest things. Ah, I see. You see, the street's name just came to my mind last night. Can you take a guess what it is? You mean... Bourne Street, uh-huh. It wasn't called that before. That's why the whole thing didn't click for me straight away. But I went through his files, and it checks out. Does that mean the vendors he was talking about? Bingo. And you know what? He bought the lighter there. Wow, what a coincidence. Are you sure it's only a coincidence? Oh, the vendors were the ferry market. What do you mean? Come on. Ain't no way they're just coincidences, Rex. Everything is lining up too perfectly if you ask me. Uh-oh. Think about what's happened so far. It was my team that found out about the vandalism before they dumped the whole case on me. Then my car was hit out of everyone's. Right. Then my luck started tanking. The broken mug, the fan, the black cat. Just tons of weird stuff happened in the past week alone, you see? Right? But one thing led to another, and my team was chosen to lead the investigation. And tell me, who's in charge of the case? Me. Then there's this Banshee lady, your patron, with some information I wouldn't have thought of. The dead tree stuff, the ferry market, information I wouldn't even have remembered on my own. Right? And now you know why I kept losing my lighter, right? How are they not connected? Tell me. Well, if you list them all in order like that, I'm telling you, Rex, that place is calling for me. This case is made for me. But they really picked the wrong guy. I'm just real bad at dealing with spooks. They make me question everything I've ever known, you know? But I've always thought you're pretty good at handling ambiguity, officer. Not when it comes to supernatural stuff. So we don't know enough about what's real and what's not. What will they do? Will they hurt us? Do they bring bad luck? Good luck? What's the truth? Who knows? Maybe you should take a day off and catch up on your sleep. Huh? What's that? No, nothing. You know, another patron of mine suggested a documentary to watch. Yeah? The focus was on interesting drinks from around the world. You can find everything from the mundane to the extreme. From local comforts to really special stuff. I kept thinking one particular drink might interest you. Oh? It is something like a protection drink. It's made of coffee, honey, lemon, and a slew of other ingredients. Huh. Protection from what, though? From evil spirits and bad luck, I think. Maybe it'll help ease your mind a bit? Ah, gotcha. But Rex, even the whole situation is haunted. There shouldn't be any evil spirits. Right? I wouldn't know. But I might need your lighter. What for? Well, the drink needs to be lit up. I just think your lighter might give it the extra magic boost it needs. Compared to just using a regular flame, I mean. Heh, what are you gonna make me anyway? Nah, I trust you. Here. Officer Georgie's lighter. It exudes an interesting feel. Okay, they make me this magical drink you've learned, Rex. It was coffee, honey and lemon, and then ooh, it's on fire. And then we're gonna give him back his lighter. Oh wow. The drink does light up, huh? Yep, this is special, just for you. So don't tell anybody. Roger that. Here you go. Oof, careful. Dang, Rex. This is really something else. You sure it's okay to drink? I have no idea. Well, take responsibility if anything happens. Ha! Heh. I'm just being silly, aren't I? Sorry for bothering you with all this stuff, Rex. You even made me this crazy drink to make me feel better. Don't say that. I'm always happy to help, however I can. Thanks. Man. At least with crooks you can actually deal directly with them, you know? Not the case with apparitions. Not with that attitude. Huh? Who are you? Everything could be caught with a little elbow grease. Not actual elbow grease. I won't make that mistake again. McQueen? Is that you? Hello, Williams. It's been a while. Heh, it is you. The surprises just keep coming this week. Let me go over there. You know each other? More or less. We were brunch buddies. Brunch buddies? Brunch buddies. I feel like I'm meant to say brunch buddies in the same serious tone, but I don't like to talk about it. I still get nightmares. I feel ya. I wasn't sure we were gonna be blah blah blah. I wasn't sure we were gonna make it out alive. We were truly the lucky ones, without a doubt. I'll just take both your words for it. Good. So I don't like to talk about it. So what brings you here, detective? Surely it's not the coffee. Secret police reasons. I've not read the briefing yet. But enough about me. Tell me about your supernatural problems. Yeah? You need to bust a ghost? Oh. Well, busting might be a bit much. I was talking to Rex about getting over my fear of that stuff. And ghosts. Something like that. I'm weak against ghostly looking stuff. I get freaked out easily. For example, I admit I got a little spooked by what happened on Bourne Street the other day. Ah, I remember that. Heh. I know very well that unchecked fear leads to prejudice. That's why it's a no-no in my book. It even pains me to admit that out loud. Sometimes the toughest case to crack is ourselves. Other times, it's ghosts. How do you do it, detective? Your cases, man. I have probably lost all my hair by now if I were you. I try not to think about it all that much. And when I do think about it, I think, who else will do it? Nobody, that's who. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, once you get over the dead part, they're just like you and me. Look, I remember this one case we were investigating a haunted apartment. This lady, her husband had recently passed away, but wasn't moving on, if you get my drift. Real deadbeat, couldn't take a hint. Anyway, we had to go in and exorcise the place, right? The husband, he's caught wind and he's retreated into the basement. I won't get into technicalities of it, but it's hard to get rid of a ghost out of a basement or an attic. It's all about angles, really. I mean, I get it. That used to be his home. All his stuff is still there. It's hard. I get that. So I'm slowly going down the stairs to try and coax him out. Bam! Next minute, all this romantic music is playing and the whole place is lit by a spotlight. Basic sensory illusions. Classic ghost tricks. Then, before I know what hit me, I'm sitting at this pottery wheel and he's behind me and... Wait. Isn't this the plot of a 1990 film, Ghost? Oh. Maybe? We had a movie night at work and I dozed off before it started. The story must have slipped into my subconscious. Riveting. Oh boy, another officer. Hey, detective. Hey, people I don't know. Did you get your important errands sorted? I sure did. Julie, I can see crumbs stuck to your face. That's just the rain. It's very ready rain. There's filling all over your top. That's blood from a gunshot wound. It's healed up though. You're literally holding the receipt from the donut shop. That's why they pay you the big bucks, detective. So, what'd I miss? We're talking about getting rid of Officer William's fear of ghosts. Hey. Ghosts? Yeah, you're afraid of them, right, Dooley? No idea, never met one. We stopped the ghost riot. Ghosts aren't real. So you don't need to be scared of them. Easy. There you go, I guess. Sorry that wasn't much help. Nah. Well, you said, they're just like us. That's a good thing to be reminded of. Exactly, they used to be alive, just like us. As long as they don't try to eat, possess, and violently murder you, you should be fine. Very reassuring. Just talk to them. Feel their culture, listen to their issues and spectral wails. Treat them like any other person. See what's on the inside. Which should be easy since you can see through them. I thought you didn't believe in ghosts. It's best not to overthink anything he says. I certainly don't. Huh, well, thanks for the advice. I think it'll help. Our pleasure. Now, Dooley, I think we should read that case briefing and find out why we're here. I already did. Oh? Turns out we were meant to arrest a person driving that taxi. Instead of taking it all the way to Seattle, yes. Why? The driver was a chupacabra. Crone. Okay, let's get out of here, Dooley. Good luck, officer. Thanks, McQueen. A lot. You too, Officer Dooley. Bye, guy. Good luck with your rat problem or whatever. Bye, Coffee Wizard. Take care. That was quite something. Well, what do you know, Rex? Looks like my good luck is back. I'm feeling like $1 million now. I'm very glad you do. Heh. Thanks anyway, Rex. I really did nothing much. Are you going to be okay? Okay enough to start thinking about what to do next. I'm done here for the night. You have a good evening, alright? Please keep me updated, officer, and stay safe. Will do. Alright then. Maybe I'll go check the stock and... Oh? Miss Fiona, welcome. Hello. How's the traffic out there? It's a mess. There's construction work taking place on Lenora Avenue. Oof. I can imagine the gridlock already. Fortunately, I have no deliveries to make today. That's great, I'm happy you're here. So, anything I can make for you this evening? I'd like something for my throat. I'd appreciate a cup of tea infused with some lemon and a touch of honey. Regular tea or green tea? Lemon honey? Okay. A cup of warm midsummer's night dream for you, miss. That's what we call it here. How whimsical. It's wonderful. Sweet, but well balanced with the lemon, and the slight bitterness of the tea completes the taste. Thank you. You're so very welcome. By the way, you just missed Officer Georgie by a few seconds. Is that so? How is he? He's been thinking about what you said quite a bit, actually. Oh? He's currently dealing with plenty of clues he isn't used to. That's why he's hard at work at the moment. I see. Would you mind doing me a favor? Oh? What do you need? Could you give my contact information to him? We only connected via Bluetooth last time, so... Oh. An email address and phone number are written on it, belonging to Renoa Sheeran. A piece of blue card with an email address and phone number written on it. What I said a few days ago might have been a bit overwhelming. It's possible that I spoke more than was necessary. All because I couldn't help but feel a pang of bitterness knowing what happened to the tree. That's entirely understandable, though. But it's not my intention to interfere with his work. As such, if he requires any assistance, please, do let me know. It is the least I can do, as I realize there will be plenty of difficulty obtaining information. Oh, I mean, because Officer Georgie is a human. And we so many physical beings have our own way of sharing information as such. I understand what you mean. Okay. I just not wish to incriminate anything or anyone. It's fine, I get it. I'm glad. I'd say you already helped him out in more ways than one. Sorry, did you say something? I was zoning out a little. No, nothing. I'll pass this off to him. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Bad traffic aside, how are you? I'm... To be honest, I've had a lot on my mind of late. I don't know how to express it without sounding pathetic. You know, I'm all ears. That may be actually part of the problem, I am afraid. Pardon? You know, I've held conversations with more individuals over the past week than I have in the past few years. Is that a good or bad thing? It's troubling. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I don't mean it necessarily in a negative way. It's just, I used to believe that I had settled life objective. But I have been doubting it lately. How come? I finally heard back from Miss Rachel yesterday. Oh, any good news? No. Our fields are admittedly quite different, so I was not expecting much. However, she provided me with some contacts who may be of assistance, even though they had no direct connection to the audience I'm trying to reach. I see. She explained clearly why she thinks I should contact them, however, which I am thankful for. That's very thoughtful of her. So what's the battle plan? And why are you doubting yourself? In essence, the advice is to slowly increase my network, to make myself known. Oh? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? You probably guessed my concern about it. I think so, but you can give me a refresher, just so I don't misunderstand. I feel like that would be a shortcut, so to speak. Right. She did, however, remind me of an important and humbling fact. What would that be? Well... Oh, but it's not guaranteed you'll get anything out of it, don't you think? Unless you're really, really sure the slow-cut shortcut is 100% gonna work. Because you'll have to do way, way more than just making a few calls and waiting for callbacks, you know? I'd say that's a decent impression of her. Thank you. After that, she told me a story about her early career experiences, both the good and the bad. Getting noticed is truly only the beginning. Then it's either a matter of letting your talent speak for you, or you go out there to develop connections with the right people. Even then, there's still no guarantee of success. After listening to her explanation, I respect Miss Rachel's determination. I can certainly see how it worked out for her. But then I was left wondering whether Mr. Lucas meant something similar during our first meeting. Right, I thought it all sounded familiar. Will you try her suggestion, then? I don't know. Is it difficult? No more difficult than sending reels to every audition I've come across. And being rejected by every single one. For some reason, I feel conflicted about it. Speaking of Mr. Lucas, he and I also have continued our correspondence. Although, perhaps it was more like a necessity. Did something happen? He was stuck. Pardon? Actually, he posted about it on social media last night. Oh. I might have seen it. Did you? I came across it when I was updating my schedule and responded out of concern. Then he called me, almost immediately. He was loud. All sounds in order. And extremely drunk? Really? He denied it at first. But it was too obvious not to notice. He told me he was walking aimlessly, deep in thought, and entered Cary Park without realizing he had done so. Must have been some deep thinking he was doing because I think it rained pretty hard last night. Well, I wouldn't know. The bus to and from there is currently not operating after 10 p.m. Which is why I sent him a message informing him of that fact, as he seemed to be unaware of it. Right. So he called me to ask if there was any other mode of public transit nearby. Wouldn't it have been easier for him to just call a cab? He told me he wanted to know the city better. At midnight? Why not? After all, you operate your business after dark yourself. Touché. Perhaps he just didn't want to go home yet. And I might be mistaken here, but I thought he doesn't like drinking. Wasn't it partying? Nevertheless, I think last night was quite different. It appears he had dinner with his team, and he needed the extra courage in order to negotiate with them about his proposed new direction. Oh. I see. I suppose it didn't go as expected. Perhaps. And I know that feeling all too well. Miss. However, he said he will keep negotiating until they reach a compromise. That's good. Is it, though? Miss Rachel told me about the hoops she had to jump through at the beginning of her career with her teammates as well. Likewise, Mr. Lucas has had to work hard to obtain approval from his team for its actions. How can they still be so positive? What do you mean? I just cannot picture myself convincing others to give me a chance like that. I almost wanted to ask, why do we have to be at the mercy of others in order to succeed or fail? Can't talent speak for itself? But if I truly believed that, the number of rejections I have received so far, I should have stopped a long time ago, shouldn't I? Right, that's why it doesn't work that way. What do you mean? To let talent speak for itself, we would all have to have the same standards. I see what you mean. Art would cease to be art if it were standardized, wouldn't it? However, doesn't that imply that everything still depends on the whims of the individual judging you at the moment? How does someone like Miss Rachel or Mr. Lucas manage to be fine with that? Perhaps they don't see it as the be-all and end-all. What do you mean? Rather than viewing them as judges with the authority to determine their fates, perhaps they simply see them as hills to either overcome or avoid, if that makes sense. Just a matter of perspective as to where the power lies. But it's not easy to climb those hills, especially if you've never done it before. Therefore, it's good to try and find out what works for you, or ask for guidance, or assistance even. Because one can't possibly know every single way to overcome obstacles, or be able to safely recognize warning signs without first learning about them from others. Is that what you're trying to say? I see. Still. Miss Riona? Ah, yes. Sorry, I got a bit lost in my thoughts. You're fine, I promise. But speaking of Mr. Lucas, what happened to him after the call? I picked him up and drove him home. Whoa. But I thought you're located in Bellevue. I am. But I still had unfinished business in the downtown area. Moreover, he suddenly began singing quite loudly near the end of our call, which led me to conclude that it would be best for me to go and fetch him. I see. How was the singing, in your opinion? It wasn't too bad. If not for the fact that he was screaming most of the lyrics, that is. Well, his hoodie was soaked when I arrived, so he had to take it off before getting into my car. Thankfully, the water did not completely soak through to his shirt, so he remained relatively dry. However, I still had to lay down the seat covers as his fur got rather wet. Ah. Hope you didn't get sick then. Aside from all that, was he okay? Considering the situation you mentioned earlier, I mean. Well, he happily asked me to do karaoke with him, which I declined. Probably for the best. Could have been entertaining, though. I ended up taking him for a drive, though, as I needed to take care of my unfinished business. A late-night delivery? No, I was buying a pie. At midnight? Yes. Why, concerned you may have a competitor? No, not at all. Maybe a little bit. Oh, Rex, you will be fine. I sort of want to know just so I can inform Officer Georgie about it. Oh? Why? His daughter loves pies. When his car was vandalized, Officer Georgie had plans to buy pies for his family get-together. The report took a while and the weather was bad. And by the time he was able to get a taxi, he thought everything was already closed. I see. But he takes pride in being a Seattleite. So I wonder if he knows about it already. Well, it's a very small kiosk attached to a pub, very easy to miss. The spot is known as Disco Pie, and it serves fresh pies until 1 a.m. Interesting, good to know, thanks. Getting back to the story though, you both want for pies then? Yes, and that seemed to fascinate him for some reason. What did you each get? He ordered a slice of warm apple crumble with a scoop of French vanilla ice cream on top, and a large cup of piping hot coffee with a little bit of milk. Ouch. I feel betrayed, truly. Oh. But it was my suggestion, since I thought he needed to warm up. Double ouch. I apologize. I'll live. A little piece of advice though, a glass of warm water might be better for the inebriated. Coffee's not the best at retaining fluids and thus preventing hangovers. Oh, that's really good information to know. This is why you are the best barista, Rex. Thank you. Okay, my feelings are hurt slightly less now. And what did you get for yourself? I had a slice of hibiscus blueberry mint pie myself. And just so you know, I did not order anything to drink. Good. Drinks aside, what an interesting combination for a pie. How did you like it? I enjoyed it. You serve hibiscus here too, don't you? I'll remember to order it next time. Please do. And so we continued our conversation afterwards. That was when he told me he had now given up on his goal, despite the many disappointments with his team. He also told me why he does not drive at all. Really? Why? It is... On second thought, it may be better to hear the story directly from him. Another time. I apologize. No problem, I understand. We also discussed quite a few things we have in common. Really? Yes, surprisingly. Before we knew it, it was already nearing 5 a.m. Must have been a gripping conversation. I am not sure. However, his exhaustion seemed to finally catch up with him then, so I drove him home. Weren't you tired as well? No. I should go now. Alright, will you be okay? I have a lot to think about. Thank you for being patient with my concerns, Rex. No problem at all, anytime. Have a good evening then, Rex. Come back again soon. Lemony Snippet, A Fortunate Tale in a Cup. And that is 2 days. We're gonna pause it here. Oh boy. Save game. Day 11. I wonder if we look at this, will it tell us how many days there are? Until the 3rd? Maybe day 15. There are 15 days. Then the last 3 might all be one video? Alright, that's for not on camera planning. Sorry. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of this. Got a lot of information. Poor Georgie. He might be dealing with ghosts, apparitions, flattening tires. What the heck? Quite a line of coincidences he's dealing with between the lighter, his family, and the fairy market. And poor Riona, she's going through some trouble herself, huh? She had a lot to think about throughout this whole week. I can't believe it's only been a week. Or almost 2 weeks. We're on day 11, so it's past 7 days. But that's a lot to wrestle with, huh? Alright, well let me know what you guys think down below. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps the channel grow. And I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye!